the silent submarines to the mighty aircraft carriers, this is the complete catalog of the United States Navy. Let's start with the fleet carriers. The primary projection of naval power, Essex class, the definitive fleet carrier of the war. Displacing 27,000 tons, they were designed to carry the new Sunday Punch air wings of nearly 100 aircraft. They featured a deck-edge elevator for rapid plane handling and heavy anti-aircraft armament to survive intense air attacks. Yorktown class, the pre-war standard. Fast and maneuverable, these ships utilized an open hangar deck design which allowed aircraft engines to be warmed up below deck. They set the template for American carrier operations with a capacity of over 80 planes. Lexington class, the converted battle cruisers. Distinguished by their massive size and enormous funnel structures, they utilized turboelectric drive systems and retained heavy 8-inch guns for surface defense, a holdover from early carrier doctrine. USS Ranger, the first purpose-built carrier. Smaller and slower than the fleet carriers, she was designed with a unique 6-stack exhaust system. Lacking heavy armor, she was optimized for maximum aircraft capacity on a limited hull size. USS Wasp, the Treaty Compromise, a scaled-down version of the Yorktown class designed to fit remaining tonnage limits. To save weight, she had minimal armor protection and a unique offset engine arrangement. Light and escort carriers, the support fleet. Independence class, the fast light carriers, built on Cleveland-class light cruiser hulls to rapidly increase fleet numbers. While they had smaller flight decks and hangars, their cruiser engines allowed them to keep pace with the fast carrier task forces. Saipan class, the heavy light carriers, built on Baltimore-class heavy cruiser hulls. They featured reinforced decks designed to handle the heavier, next-generation aircraft entering service at the end of the war. Bogue class, the hunter killers, built on C-3 merchant cargo hulls. These slow carriers were equipped with sonar and depth-charge-laden aircraft specifically to patrol convoy lanes and hunt submarines in the Atlantic. Sangamon class, the tanker carriers, converted from fleet oilers. They retained their massive fuel bunkers, allowing them to refuel destroyers at sea while simultaneously providing air cover. Casablanca class, the mass-produced escorts, the first carrier class designed for rapid production using uniflow steam engines. They were slow and unarmored, designed primarily to provide close air support for amphibious landings and transport aircraft. Commencement Bay class, the ultimate escort, purpose-built warships based on the Sangamon hull design. They featured larger flight decks, improved catapults, and better internal compartmentalization than any previous escort class. USS Long Island, the prototype, a converted C-3 cargo ship used to prove the feasibility of auxiliary carriers. She featured a simple wooden flight deck and no island structure. USS Wolverine and Sable, the freshwater trainers, converted from coal-burning Great Lakes paddle steamers. They operated exclusively on Lake Michigan to train naval aviators in carrier landings safely away from enemy submarines. The fast battleships, speed and firepower combined. Iowa class, the heavy hitters, the largest and fastest U.S. battleships, capable of 33 knots. They were armed with 9 16-inch guns controlled by advanced radar computers, allowing them to escort fast carrier groups and engage targets over the horizon. South Dakota class, the compact dreadnoughts, designed to carry the same firepower as the Iowas but on a shorter hull to maximize armor protection. They were heavily bristled with anti-aircraft guns to serve as fleet air defense escorts. North Carolina class, the modern pioneers, the first U.S. battleships built after the naval treaty holiday. They introduced the 16-inch gun and 27-knot speed standard, along with massive superstructures for radar systems. The standard battleships, the heavy armor line, Colorado class, the big sticks, the pinnacle of the slow standard type design. They were the first to mount 16-inch guns and focused on heavy armor protection and stability over speed. Tennessee class, the modernized line, distinguished by improved underwater protection and turboelectric drives. During the war, they were rebuilt with modern superstructures and radar fire control for shore bombardment. Pennsylvania class, the flagships, introduced the all-or-nothing armor scheme, concentrating protection only on vital areas. They carried 12 14-inch guns in triple turrets for maximum volume of fire. Nevada class, the template, the first oil-fired U.S. battleships, offering greater range than coal burners. They established the triple turret layout used by all subsequent standard battleships. New Mexico class. The Clippers, famous for their clipper bow design for better seakeeping. They utilized precise turboelectric transmission, making them excellent stable platforms for heavy artillery support. New York class. The Old Guard, armed with 10 14-inch guns and reciprocating steam engines. While too slow for the main fleet, their heavy guns were utilized for saturating invasion beaches. Wyoming class. The Ancients, dreadnoughts armed with 12 12-inch guns, relegated to training and coastal support roles due to their age. USS Utah, the target ship, a demilitarized battleship converted into a radio-controlled mobile target for aerial bombing practice. Alaska class. The large cruisers, a hybrid design between a cruiser and a battleship. Armed with 12-inch guns and capable of 33 knots, they were designed specifically to hunt down and destroy enemy heavy cruisers. The heavy cruisers, designed for long-range surface combat with 8-inch main guns. Baltimore class, the ultimate heavy cruiser design, built on a larger hull to accommodate more anti-aircraft guns and armor without sacrificing stability. They carried 9 8-inch guns and were powered by 4 steam turbines. Wichita class, the prototype, adapted from a light cruiser hull but fitted with heavy 8-inch turrets. It served as the testbed for the armor layout and machinery used in later heavy cruisers. New Orleans class, the treaty cruisers, built under strict tonnage limits, maximizing armor protection around the magazines and machinery. They featured a compact superstructure to reduce weight. Portland class, developed from the Northampton class but with increased armor protection. They were designed with a distinct heavy tripod foremast and extended hull for better seakeeping. Northampton class, the high-speed scouts, designed with lighter armor to achieve high speeds for reconnaissance duties. They featured a raised forecastle for better performance in rough seas. Pensacola class, the Tinclads, the first treaty cruisers, prioritizing firepower over protection. They carried a unique heavy armament of 10 8-inch guns in mixed twin and triple turrets. The light cruisers, rapid-fire support ships armed with 6-inch guns. Cleveland class, the definitive light cruiser, designed with a wider hull to carry massive amounts of anti-aircraft weaponry. Their main battery of 12 6-inch guns could maintain a high rate of fire, making them excellent destroyers of aircraft. Brooklyn class, the machine gun cruisers, built to counter Japanese heavy cruisers with sheer volume of fire. They carried 15 6-inch guns in 5 triple turrets, capable of saturating targets with rapid broadsides. St. Louis class, an improved subclass of the Brooklyn. They featured a tighter machinery arrangement and improved anti-aircraft gun layouts, specifically designed to mount the new 5-inch dual-purpose secondary guns. Atlanta class, the anti-aircraft specialists, small and extremely fast cruisers armed with 16 5-inch dual-purpose guns. They were designed specifically to screen carriers from air attacks. Juno class, a modification of the Atlanta class, redesigned to improve stability and firing arcs, with a focus on maximizing anti-aircraft efficiency. Omaha class, the post-World War I scouts, distinguished by their twin smokestacks and casemate-mounted guns. High speed was their primary defense, designed for screening the main battle fleet. The destroyers, the fast, versatile escorts. Allen M. Sumner class, the heavy gun destroyers, distinguished by their twin 5-inch gun turrets, giving them the forward firepower of a light cruiser. They were optimized for anti-aircraft defense and shore bombardment. Fletcher class, the standard destroyer, the first generation designed without treaty limitations. Flush-decked for structural strength, they carried 5 5-inch guns and 10 torpedo tubes, offering the perfect balance of capability. Benson and Gleaves classes, the transition destroyers, distinctive for their stepped funnels. They introduced high-temperature steam propulsion, making them faster and more fuel-efficient than predecessors. Sims class, the streamlined scouts, the last single-stack destroyer design. They were built large to carry heavy armament but required modifications to improve stability. Gridley class, high-speed torpedo destroyers. They featured advanced high-pressure boilers, making them some of the fastest ships in the fleet. Summers class, flotilla leaders, large destroyers armed with 8 5-inch guns in twin mounts, designed to command destroyer squadrons. Porter class, the heavy leaders, the first U.S. destroyers built with twin gun turrets. They were large and heavily armed, designed to act as flagships. Mahan class, the advanced pre-war design, introduced high-pressure steam turbines and the 12 torpedo tube layout. They were the backbone of the destroyer force at the war's start. Farragut class, the modern prototypes, the first new destroyers built after World War I, setting the standard 5-inch gun and torpedo layout for all subsequent classes. Patrol craft, small, fast attack vessels. PT boats, motor torpedo boats, constructed of mahogany plywood and powered by 3 Packard aviation engines. They relied on high speed and maneuverability to deliver torpedo attacks in coastal waters. PC 461 class, steel-hulled submarine chasers, 173-foot patrol vessels equipped with sonar and depth charges for coastal defense. SC 497 class, wooden-hulled submarine chasers, smaller 110-foot vessels designed for the splinter fleet to patrol harbors. Submarines, the diesel-electric fleet boats. Palau class, the deep divers, constructed with high-tensile steel, increasing their test depth to 400 feet. This allowed them to evade enemy depth charges more effectively. Gato class, the standard fleet boat, large, air-conditioned, and heavily armed with 10 torpedo tubes. They possessed the range to patrol from Hawaii to the coast of Japan. Tambor and Gar classes, the immediate pre-war design, established the successful 6-bow/4 stern torpedo tube arrangement used in later classes. Salmon and Sargo classes, the fast attack boats, introduced the hydraulic composite drive system, offering high surface speeds for intercepting convoys. Porpoise class, the first modern type, introduced all-electric drive and air conditioning, essential for crew endurance in the Pacific. Narwhal class, cruiser submarines, massive boats built in the 1920s armed with 2 6-inch deck guns, designed for long-range scouting and shore bombardment. USS Argonaut, the mine layer, the largest non-nuclear U.S. submarine ever built, designed specifically to deploy minefields in enemy waters. Destroyer escorts, specialized anti-submarine warfare ships. Buckley class, the steam turbine escorts, fast and maneuverable, fitted with a heavy torpedo armament for attacking surface raiders. John C. Butler class, the geared turbine escorts, compact and efficient, heavily armed with depth charges and hedgehogs. Cannon class, the diesel-electric escorts, utilized locomotive engines for ease of production, optimized for long-range convoy escort in the Atlantic. Etzel class, geared diesel escorts, similar to the Cannon class but with a different drive system, used primarily for Atlantic convoy protection. Everts class, the short hulls, the first U.S. destroyer escort class. They lacked torpedo tubes and were designed strictly for anti-submarine warfare. Rudero class, the gunship escorts, modified with extra 5-inch guns and anti-aircraft weapons to serve as fire support ships for amphibious landings. Amphibious warfare, vessels designed to land troops and tanks. LST, landing ship, tank, ocean-going ships with a flat bottom and bow doors, capable of beaching directly onto shore to offload heavy tanks. LSM, landing ship, medium, faster, open-well ships designed to carry tanks for island-hopping campaigns, more maneuverable than the larger LSTs. LSD, dock landing ship, feature a floodable rear well deck, designed to transport and launch loaded landing craft and amphibious vehicles near the invasion area. LCI, landing craft, infantry, small ocean-going ships with side ramps, designed to deliver infantry companies directly to the beach. AGC, amphibious command ship, converted merchant or transport hulls packed with communications equipment to coordinate air, naval, and ground forces. LVT, landing vehicle tracked, amphibious tractors, tracked vehicles capable of swimming through water and crawling over coral reefs and beaches. LCVP, the Higgins boat, plywood landing craft with a bow ramp, the primary means of moving personnel from transport ships to the shore. Mine and auxiliary ships, the support fleet, Raven, Auk, and Admirable classes. Fleet minesweepers, rugged ships equipped with gear to cut moored mines and sweep acoustic or magnetic threats. Vulcan class, repair ships, floating industrial workshops equipped with heavy cranes and machine shops to repair battle damage. Liberty and Victory ships, mass-produced cargo vessels, the logistics backbone transporting the tanks, fuel, and ammunition required to sustain global operations. Cimarron class, fleet oilers, fast tankers equipped with rigs to refuel warships while moving at sea, extending the fleet's range indefinitely. Lassen class, ammunition ships, specialized cargo vessels designed to handle and transfer high explosives to combat ships. Hope and Comfort classes, hospital ships, converted transports equipped with full medical facilities to treat casualties. Treasury and Secretary classes, Coast Guard cutters under Navy control, large ocean-going vessels equipped for long-range convoy escort and anti-submarine warfare. From the diesel submarines patrolling the depths to the massive carriers dominating the skies, this fleet was a triumph of engineering and logistics. This is the complete technical catalog of the arsenal of democracy.